Breaking news just dropped from Allen Park, and what I'm about to share with you changes everything we thought we knew about Sunday's matchup. The Lions just released their injury report, and there's one name on that list that has every single fan holding their breath right now. I'm talking about a situation that could reshape our entire defensive game plan heading into Week 12. And trust me, you're going to want to hear every single detail I've uncovered about this developing story. This is Lions News Fan Report, your home for the most up-to-date news, insider rumors, and deep analysis on our beloved Detroit Lions. What I'm about to break down for you goes way beyond just another injury update. This is about understanding the ripple effects, the strategic implications, and what it really means for our championship aspirations. So stick with me through this entire breakdown, because the details I'm sharing at the end will completely change how you see Sunday's game against the Giants. Let me set the stage for you. The Lions held a walkthrough today instead of their regular practice, and when that estimated injury report came out, it was lengthy. 13 players. 13 names listed as either limited or non-participants. Now, I know what you're thinking. Walkthrough estimates aren't always the most accurate predictor of game day availability, and you're absolutely right. But when you see certain names on that list, it immediately grabs your attention and demands a closer look at what's really going on with our roster health. Heading into a critical divisional stretch, we've got some familiar faces on there. Terrion Arnold remains in concussion protocol, which is concerning given that he's now missed 3 games this season and exited 5 of the 7 games he's actually been active. Dan Campbell said Arnold is day-to-day, so we're monitoring that situation closely. Taylor Decker continues working through those shoulder issues that have plagued him all season, though the veteran left tackle has gutted it out and played through the pain since returning from his 2-game absence. Penei Sewell's ankle issue keeps popping up on these reports, but like Decker, he's been suiting up on Sundays and giving us that elite protection we desperately need. Brian Branch picked up a toe injury, which is new on our radar. If you watched the Philadelphia game last weekend, you saw Branch deliver that massive hit that drew a personal foul flag. That's likely where this toe issue originated. Campbell sounded optimistic about Branch's status when asked after the walkthrough, which is encouraging news for our secondary. Branch has been absolutely instrumental in our defensive success this year, and losing him will create a significant void in our coverage schemes. On the positive side, we're seeing some encouraging progress on the return front. DJ Reed looks increasingly likely to make his comeback this week after missing time since that Week 4 matchup against Cleveland. Campbell specifically mentioned that Reed looks pretty positive, and they're planning to give him a full week of work to evaluate his readiness. Malcolm Rodriguez was activated from the physically unable to perform list and logged a full participation in today's walkthrough. Campbell noted that Reed and Rodriguez are at the top of the list for players closest to returning, which adds some much-needed depth to our defensive unit. Marcus Davenport continues working within his 21-day return window, and Campbell mentioned he's getting better, though we're still waiting for that final clearance. Josh Pascal is dealing with a back issue and was estimated as limited, while we've got several offensive linemen managing various ailments. Graham Glasgow with his knee, Tate Ratledge also dealing with a knee problem, and rookie Miles Frazier, who was actually a full participant despite his knee injury that cost him all of training camp and the preseason. These offensive line concerns are particularly noteworthy given the struggles we've seen up front in recent weeks. But here's where we need to focus our attention, and this is the heart of what today's report is really about. Among all those names, among all those various injuries and return timelines, there's one player whose status has massive implications for how our defense operates on Sunday. We're talking about a player who's been absolutely critical to our defensive identity this season. Someone who's made game-changing plays week after week and become one of the most reliable pieces of our secondary. Kirby Joseph was listed as a non-participant in today's walkthrough due to a knee injury. Let that sink in for a moment. Our ball-hawking safety, the guy who's been creating turnovers and making crucial plays in the back end of our defense, is dealing with a knee issue that kept him off the field entirely during today's session. Now, before anyone panics, let's put this in proper context and break down exactly what this means and what we should expect moving forward. First, the timing of this injury report is important. Wednesday walkthroughs are notoriously conservative, especially for a team that's managing a long injury list like we are right now. The coaching staff is being smart about preserving players' health while still preparing for Sunday's game against the Giants. Joseph's non-participation doesn't automatically mean he's in serious jeopardy of missing the game, but it does raise legitimate questions about his availability, and more importantly, his effectiveness if he does suit up. Joseph has been phenomenal for us this season. His instincts, his ball skills, his ability to read quarterbacks and jump routes have made him one of the most impactful safeties in the entire league. When you look at our defensive success this year, Joseph's contributions cannot be overstated. He's the kind of player who changes offensive game plans, forces quarterbacks to think twice about testing certain areas of the field, and consistently puts himself in position to make game-altering plays. The thought of not having him at full strength, or potentially not having him at all, creates some serious strategic concerns for our defensive coordinator. Let's talk about what Joseph brings to our defense that would be difficult to replace. His range in the deep third allows us to be more aggressive with our coverage schemes underneath. Offensive coordinators have to account for his presence, which opens up opportunities for our pass rush to get home and for our linebackers to make plays in the intermediate zone. Joseph's ability to disguise coverages and show different looks pre-snap has been crucial in confusing opposing quarterbacks and creating those turnover opportunities that have defined our defensive identity. Against the Giants this Sunday, Joseph's presence would be particularly valuable. Daniel Jones has been prone to mistakes when pressured into quick decisions, and having a safety with Joseph's instincts roaming the back end could absolutely lead to game-changing turnover. The Giants' receiving cores, while talented, can be exploited by a smart, aggressive safety who knows how to bait quarterbacks into bad throws. Joseph is exactly that type of player, and his potential absence or limitation would force us to adjust our defensive approach significantly. Now, here's where I want to inject some much-needed optimism into this conversation. Dan Campbell has built a culture of toughness and resilience in Detroit. We've seen players battle through injuries all season long, and we've seen our depth step up when called upon. If Joseph is limited or needs to miss time, we have players who can fill that role, even if they don't bring the exact same skill set. The beauty of our defensive scheme is its flexibility, and our coaching staff has shown time and again that they can adapt to personnel challenges. Moreover, Wednesday injury reports, especially walkthrough estimates, often look worse than the reality of the situation. Players get veteran rest days, minor issues get magnified on paper, and by the time Friday rolls around, we usually see significant improvement in participation levels. I'm optimistic that Joseph's knee issue is more precautionary than serious, and that by game day, he'll be ready to go and make his impact felt against the Giants. The broader context of this injury report also deserves attention. 13 players appearing on an injury report in late November is concerning from a depth perspective, but it's also somewhat expected given the physical nature of this sport and where we are in the season. Every team in the league is dealing with banged-up players and managing health concerns. The key is how well you manage these situations, how effectively your medical staff can get players ready for game day, and how resilient your roster depth proves to be when tested. Campbell's comments about feeling good regarding certain players' statuses this week suggest that the coaching staff isn't panicking about these injuries. They've navigated challenging injury situations all season, from the offensive line shuffling to the secondary rotations, and they've continued to win games and stay in the hunt for playoff positioning. That track record should give us confidence that they'll manage the situation effectively as well. Looking at the strategic implications for Sunday's game, even if Joseph is limited or needs to play through some discomfort, having him on the field in any capacity is better than not having him at all. His football intelligence and instincts can still impact the game even if he's not at 100% physically. We've seen countless examples throughout NFL history of players making crucial plays while dealing with injuries, and Joseph strikes me as the type of competitor who will do everything possible to be available for his team. The Giants present a winnable matchup for us, and this game is crucial for maintaining our position in the playoff race. With the over-under set at 49.5 points, there's an expectation of offensive production from both sides. Our defense will need to create those momentum-shifting plays that have characterized our best performances this season, and Joseph has been central to making those plays happen. What we do know is that this coaching staff and medical team have earned our trust through their handling of similar situations throughout the season. Reality is that November football in the NFL means dealing with injury. Every team has them. Every roster is managing health concerns, and the teams that navigate these challenges most effectively are the ones that position themselves for postseason success. Our depth will be tested, our coaching staff will need to make adjustments, and our players will need to step up in bigger roles. But if there's one thing this Lions team has shown us all season, it's that they're more than capable of rising to meet whatever challenges come their way. So, where does this leave us heading into Sunday's matchup with the Giants? We're monitoring Kirby Joseph's knee injury closely and waiting for more information as the week progresses. We're encouraged by Dan Campbell's optimistic tone regarding several player statuses, and we're hopeful that by game day, we'll have our full complement of defensive playmakers available, even if some guys are less than 100%. This team has shown the ability to overcome adversity and find ways to win games. The Giants game represents an important opportunity for us to build momentum heading into the final stretch of the regular season. Every win matters. Every game carries playoff implications. And having our best players available gives us the best chance to secure that victory. Kirby Joseph is undoubtedly one of our best players, and his health status will be something every Lions fan watches closely as we move through the week. What do you think about Kirby Joseph's injury situation? Are you confident he'll be ready to go on Sunday, or does this concern you heading into a crucial game? How important do you think his presence is to our defensive success? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because I want to hear from you. This is the kind of situation where fan perspective really matters. And I love reading your insights and predictions. If you want to stay on top of every development with the Lions, every injury update, every roster move, and every piece of breaking news, make sure you're subscribed to Lions News Fan Report. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join our community of passionate Lions fans who demand the most comprehensive and reliable coverage of our team. We're here every single day bringing you the latest information, the deepest analysis, and the insider perspective you won't find anywhere else. Let's ride this season together and support our Lions as they chase championship glory. 1. Pride.